YouTube. What's up, baby? We back again. We back again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're gonna be continuing our reviews on Lock and Key, one of my favorite shows, baby. Let's go. So this episode is episode 5, and it's entitled "Past This Prologue." Um, so everybody sit down for Q's Insight and listen to Callie. So, like I said, I won't spoil everything, only point out stuff that I want to point out. Alright? Now, in this episode, as Gabe and Eden talk, you can kind of feel a drift between the two. Like, I don't know if it's going to be, maybe Eden ends up, I don't know, like coming along and being cool with the humans, or maybe Gabe is just gonna end up getting rid of her. I don't know what it is, but there's just too much tension between the two, and they should be in their own teams, and there's only two of them. So if you're gonna be in a group like that, you can't have no bad feelings, no bad vibes between each other, because you're going against the Locke family. The Locke family, there's a whole bunch. Plus they got a lot of the keys. Plus they got friends that know everything and will help them out. So it's only you two versus a group. You gotta work out your differences and be a team. If not, you're gonna fail, because you guys need each other. You know what I'm saying? But just they work with each other, but just the tension between the two, the arguments all the time, like him always Gabe always threatening uh like Eden. It makes me feel like there's just not, it's not gonna last. So that's what I get. They had a little talk and they were arguing a lot. Then we kind of see Duncan, and he's fixing his car, and he's just going crazy. He's trying to fix everything, not just one thing. Like, he's trying to fix everything all at once, and it's almost as if he's like trying to distract himself from the memory that he's gained back and how it makes him feel. And like I said, he's not complete yet because they haven't found the remembrance key. So he just really busy trying to distract himself, and everybody's trying to ask him if he's okay, if he needs help, and he wants to be in a world of his own. So hopefully they can find the remembrance key soon for his sake. um and then Bodhi Bodhi receives a letter from Rufus, and Rufus is just basically, catching back up with Bodhi, like telling him everything that's happened since he moved to, I think it was Alaska, with his grandparents or whatever. And so Bodhi is happy to hear from his friend, and um he ends up wanting to go visit Rufus. So that was that situation. Gabe Gabe it seems like Gabe is gonna, because he needs one of the Locke family members to make him a key. It feels like Gabe is probably eventually going to try to use that music box and make somebody do it. If he can't get Duncan, he's going to try to find somebody and make him do it. Because he seems to want the music box. He seems to just want everything. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, Gabe ends up finding out that Duncan can make keys. So, like I said, if he can't get Duncan to do it for him somehow, then he's gonna try to use the music box or whatever else that he has to do in order to make it happen. And he also knows that he's got his memories back as well. So, that's that's a plus for Gabe to know, right? Um, so ends up being eventually Tyler comes up with a plan to go and meet up with his buddy, his buddy Logan, and he's basically gonna go to the school, and Logan has a set of keys, the master keys to everything, so he's really important, for him to be able to get into school and lock all the doors, right? So he has a plan to go to the school and try to look for the key that his dad left there. It's the remembrance key. And so as he's on his way out to go do it, Gabe is there for a while, and what ends up happening is Gabe is like, hey, let me go with you. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you out, whatever. We know what he's trying to do, but he's like, let me go with you. I'll help you out. And so eventually, he pushes his way into it, and he ends up, going with Tyler, and they go to the school and meet up with Logan, and they're on their way to find that key, the remembrance key. At the academy. Uh, and then as they're doing that, Bodhi ends up actually taking the anywhere key, and he goes to go visit Rufus. Um, and in the midst of him, like, taking the anywhere key and everything, you can see Gabe look at the key like, dang, that used to be yours, and you lucky, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he just wants everything, bro. He's a greedy entity, right? But it's whatever, you know what I'm saying, for him, because he's trying to bring about a cause, so he'll do whatever. um Ends up being that Jackie's having a birthday party thrown for her, and Kenzie hears about it, and she doesn't want to go at first, but then she gets a text from I think she got a text from Abby telling her that, hey, Scott is here, you know what I'm saying? So I know you guys kind of ended on a bad note, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you guys can iron things out, especially now that, she knows that he didn't make it to the school that he wanted to go to. And that's one thing I didn't say in the last review. He did not make it to the school that he wanted to go to. So that was a sad situation, right? But so she wants to go and make things right, or just go have fun or whatever, but at the same time she doesn't want to go because she's worried about Duncan, and how he's acting and stuff like that. And so Aaron kind of comes to talk to Kenzie, and kind of sense like something's bothering her or whatever, and she ends up telling her, hey, I wanted to go to this party, but I can't because I'm worried about Duncan. So Aaron's like, don't trip, like, you go ahead. I'm an adult as well. I can help out. I'll watch Duncan. And Duncan is an adult too, but it's just like he's going through a lot of stuff. So somebody needs to be there that really knows what's going on with him, and so they can help him, because the mom, Nina, she doesn't know, but everybody else knows. So anyways, Aaron says she'll watch Duncan for her, and so Kenzie ends up leaving and goes to the Jackie's party. And at the time of all this, so you got Bodhi going out to visit Rufus. You got Tyler and Gabe and Logan going to the academy looking for the remembrance key. And you got Kenzie going to the Jackie's party. And then you got Nina going to go have dinner with Josh. And so she goes to Josh's house, and they're cooking, having small talk, really having good fun, right? And it seems like the food's about to be done, but things get like real heated, and they don't make it to dinner. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm happy for you, Josh. I see you, bro. I see you, Nina. Get that, bro. Get there, bruh. But I'm still cautious about you, Josh. Don't get it twisted, but still get that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, bro, we go back to the situation of Kenzie being at Jackie's party. She goes talk to Abby for a second, then Scott comes out, and Abby's standing in between Kenzie and Scott, and they're like, and she just like, I'm gonna go get something. Y'all can talk. You know what I'm saying? Because she sensed that there's something. You know. So she gets out the way, lets them talk for a second, and they kind of don't get nowhere with the talk. You know what I'm saying? It ends up being that Scott is like, you know what, I'm gonna go over here or whatever, and then Kenzie's like, you know, all right, cool, whatever. So, but then out of the blue, um, Eden shows up because she was looking through her phone and she was seeing pictures of Jackie's party, and then she was like, I'm gonna go crash it. You know what I'm saying? So Eden shows up, bro, and um Jackie and Kenzie are kind of hanging out at this time, and they hear like a lot of commotion, so they go over there to see what's going on, and it's Eden, and she's like arm wrestling this guy, and she beats him or whatever, of course, because she's like, you know, she has an entity inside of her, and then she goes and drinks like half of a liquor bottle, um, and then she's like taking Jello shots and stuff like that, and she's just living life, you know what I'm saying? And Jackie's like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with her crap. Like, you have fun. To Kenzie. So Kenzie and Eden are kind of talking, and it's not that Kenzie wants to hang out with Eden. It's just more so that she knows that Gabe and Eden have been having arguments or just talking, right? Like, you know, secret stuff behind their back. And so she's trying to figure out what's going on. And so basically, like, Gabe had told um Kenzie that he was helping her out. Gabe told Kenzie that he was helping Eden out with her trigonometry class. So when Kenzie talks to Eden about it, she says, "Oh yeah, you know, he is tutoring me. He's tutoring my hablo English is bad." So she's like, "Hold on, I thought you was getting help with trig. You're getting help with Spanish?" And she's like, no, I'm getting help with both." So obviously she got caught in a lie, but you know, she played it off, so she thinks that she thinks that Kenzie's like throwing off the trail, but Kenzie's actually just more so onto it. She knows that now, you know, Gabe and Eden are lying, and she's trying to figure out why are they lying. So she's trying to get down to the bottom of that. So eventually she ends up telling Eden, Kenzie ends up telling Eden, hey, like, you know, let's go somewhere where it's just me and you. So they end up going up to this room, but before they go to this room, she, Kenzie ends up talking to Scott, and she's like, hey, you know what? You were right. Like, there's something going on between them, and there's something going on between Eden and Gabe, like, and I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna take her up to this room, just me and her, you know, and then you just follow behind us, and then when we get into the room, just stay by the door and just listen out, you know what I'm saying, just in case I need help. And so he's like, all right, you know, I'll do it. So, you know, they get to the room, they're hanging out, and Eden is completely like intoxicated. So she's saying stuff. She's like, I'm gonna kill you when I wake up, and you're always so close to Gabe, and da 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 da. And she's just saying weird stuff. Like, she's saying more stuff to make Kenzie feel like, yo, there's something going on. Like, what? Why you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to hide something, like, hide it, bro. Like, don't keep giving me more momentum to feel like, yo, you're doing something. Like, no. So she's still on a trail. Like, I'm gonna find out what's going on. You know, ends up being that Eden passes out, and of course, when that happens, um, Kenzie grabs the head key and goes inside of her head. Bum bum bum. Like, so she goes inside of her head, bro, and it's like, I don't know, it's all black. There's TVs in a like encircling this main floor, and then on the TVs it's Eden, like, and she's like a model or whatever, fashion model. And then on the main floor there's a whole bunch of perfume and mannequins throughout the layout. And so basically she goes to search her stuff. Jackie ends up wanting to leave the party, so she goes up to the room. She's trying to get into the room that Eden and Kenzie are in, but Scott is outside the door and he's not gonna let her in because obviously she knows that they're doing something, right? Or obviously he knows that Kenzie is trying to get the information from Eden. So he's like, what do you need? And Jackie's like, I just need my coat so I can leave. So he's like, all right, I'll go get it for you. So he goes in there. He finds out that, um, Eden is passed out, and her body's on a bed, but then her other body from Kenzie entering in her head is on the floor. So and then he doesn't see Kenzie, and then he sees this little suitcase or whatever, or like makeup bag, whatever, right? And it's the top is open and there's light coming out of it. So obviously he knows that this is the door for Eden's brain or whatever, and that Kenzie's inside there. So he needs to get the coat, not wake up Eden, give it back to Jackie, and then either wait outside or wait inside of the room. So he does that. He almost wakes up Eden, but she doesn't wake up. And then eventually what ends up happening is he goes inside and follows Kenzie, and then they're both inside the on the floor or whatever, and they're looking at, there's a whole bunch of perfumes, and the perfumes hold the memories. So they're looking at the memories, trying to see if there's anything crazy or whatever. And then one of the memories, it shows that Eden had killed that that guy that was working at the concession stand at the theater. So she's like, oh, like that's crazy, right? And then Scott is looking around and he finds one of the memories, and it's like a crazy memory. He's like, oh, here, take this and look at it. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on? She takes it and looks at it, and it's the memory of Gabe telling Eden, like, they won't find me or whatever, da 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 da. And then she puts the key under her neck or whatever, and it goes from Gabe to Dodge. So now the secret is out. Kenzie knows that Gabe is Dodge, and Scott knows that Gabe is Dodge, and they both know that Eden is like his minion, you know what I'm saying, and she is a demon as well. So that's cat's out of the bag, bro. So they try to get out. The mannequins that were inside her mind or whatever on that main floor end up coming alive and trying to get them and keep them and prevent them from leaving her head or whatever. But they get the best of them, and then they end up leaving out of her mind, and then Eden is still asleep. So mission accomplished. All this stuff, mission is accomplished, right? Anyways, when Josh was hanging out with Nina towards the end of everything, right? She ends up giving him this logbook that she found at her house, I believe, and it's a logbook of like all the information of of years of logging, and it just has a lot of crazy information in it. So he's excited about it. Da 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 da. Nina ends up leaving, and then he's looking. He takes the book that she gives him, and then he's gathering all his stuff. He's looking around, da 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 da, and he ends up trying to find the whispering medal, but it's gone because, of course, Gabe took it. So at this point, he's kind of pissed, right? Anyways, when Gabe and Logan and Tyler went to go look for the key at the academy, it took them a while to find it, but they did find it. And so at the end of the episode, you have Tyler. Gabe tries to come back with Tyler, but he's like, "Nah, we got this." So anyways, Gabe leaves by himself. Logan goes off his way. Tyler goes back home, tells everybody I found the key. And then he goes and he turns it and he puts it in his uncle Duncan, and then everything is fixed now. So he's good to go, bro. Like, he's good to go. But this episode was great, bro. To me, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. No complaints at all, bro. Things are just ramping up and getting better, bro. If you guys seen it, please let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie. And until next time, baby.